Welcome to this week's episode of the 12squared podcast. Today's guest is Leon Berghoff, quant trader and crypto freelancer. I talked to him about how crypto accounting is still a roadblock in the widespread adoption of cryptocurrencies. Welcome to this week's episode of the 12 Squared podcast by Basenote. Today's guest is Leon Berghoff. Leon Berghoff is a crypto freelancer and quant trader. Leon, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
Can you give our listeners a short introduction and who are you and what do you do for a living?
Sure. So I work solely in the crypto space, naturally. Basically, I got into crypto trading way back. I think it was even 2015 when I asked my dad for some money to invest in Bitcoin. Back then, the price was probably around 80 euros. He didn't give me enough. Unfortunately, back then, the trust wasn't there. But it was always an interest of mine. And then through university, basically got some jobs in crypto. And what I do right now is quantitative trading, right? So I work for a company, an international company. We don't have any offices. Everybody is spread everywhere. We have some people in Spain, in Mexico, in the US, here in Germany. And we do arbitrage market making for crypto exchanges, right? And there mainly do software development, meaning programming purely algorithmic trading strategies, which provide liquidity to crypto markets, because that's still an issue compared to, for example, equity markets. If you have a huge order, some super rich person wants to buy 50 million of Bitcoin, they will have a market impact. And then our role is to minimize that market impact. And then I also work for 2026 Capital, which is a Swiss investment advisor, currently focusing on crypto funds research and finding some very interesting facts about crypto funds, how they can actually reduce the risk out of the cryptocurrency exposure using various strategies from AI. There's a lot of funny stuff out there which you can use to reduce the risk. And they also support in the operations department. So pretty much the opposite of what I do at my other job.
Exciting. I'm always very thrilled to see someone who entered crypto this early. I mean, there were you actually had to have certain, I think, privileged information back then to almost get into crypto. So I found it very, very interesting.
Yeah, it's funny. I got to know cryptocurrencies because I used to watch a lot of YouTube videos, which is like typical for my generation, I suppose. And there's this German IT YouTuber called Semper Video, and he used to make very funny videos. And he made a video in 2015, I think, titled "Is it still worth to mine Bitcoin?"
It's still worth.
And he came to the conclusion that it really isn't. But of course, he didn't know that the price would eventually go to 50,000 US dollars. So it was worth. I didn't do any mining, or I think I did mine some Ether on my MacBook Air back then, but I lost it all. It wasn't much anyways.
Yeah. So that's a good segue to the next section. How do you use cryptocurrencies in your daily life right now?
Well, I do use it, admittedly, as an investment vehicle. So I naturally own cryptocurrencies because I just believe in the applicability, in the use cases, in decentralization, self-sovereignty, all that stuff. I'm quite a liberal mind. But for example, stablecoins, I use them every month because one of my jobs, the quant trading one, given that we're spread worldwide, I just get paid in USDT in Tether, right? Every month, gets sent to my Binance account. And this is really where you can see the applicability of cryptocurrencies, especially stable coins, right? You couldn't do that with Bitcoin because of the volatility, which is still there. But it's just awesome because there's a cross-border transaction happening, but it's completely effortless and nearly costless. So that's really awesome.
Right, right. What's the current situation in accepting payment in your home country? We're both sitting like in Germany. Do you see anyone else like within Germany paying in crypto, or is that just starting out right now?
I think it's it's just starting out, right? I'm more of an avant-gardiste when it comes to that. To be honest, I'm not even sure whether this stuff is completely covered regulatorically. My very pragmatic view is that the state wouldn't complain if I just pay my taxes in euros, and if I have my own business, they shouldn't have any interest in how I get my payments. Really, that's my problem, not the problem of the state. Naturally, you could argue in a couple of years that the state could lose some sales sovereignty over their money if people actually adopt and widespread adopt stable coins, because you lose control over stuff like the euro, right? And risk-free rates and stuff. But that's far into the future.
Exactly, especially if you consider that most stablecoins are actually packed towards a fiat currency, which then theoretically is also subject to their monetary policy. So I would actually be much more, if I were the state, I would be much more afraid of any non-stable coin for that matter.
Yeah, and the sad thing is they're all pegged to the US dollar. So that's annoying for me being a German citizen, located in Frankfurt. Also born here in Germany. I need to convert the US dollar immediately into euros to pay for stuff here. And that's really something I'm still missing in the decentralized finance space. I don't know why nobody does it, but I haven't heard of a widespread used euro stablecoin, and also decentralized finance space, right? I mean, probably 99.9% of total value locked are in US dollar pegged coins, right? Minus the normal cryptocurrencies. So that's kind of sad. But we have gold now, which is kind of stable. But I want to see a euro stablecoin. Would help me as a European freelancer a lot.
Yeah. When it comes to difference in values of cryptocurrencies, also fluctuation of values, how do you do crypto accounting? How do you keep track of your investments and your payments and everything?
Well, it's very rudimentary. I have it spread around a couple of exchanges: Bittrex, Binance, Coinbase. There's a lot of them, and I just spread my money across the exchanges. I don't even bother with cold storage. First of all, it's not that much that it would be absolutely necessary. And second of all, exchanges, at least by now, are so professional with their security. Like Coinbase has like 99% of their cryptocurrencies in cold storage. That like CZ Binance, to quote him, said that there's a very good chance that Binance does a better job at taking care of your cryptocurrencies than you do, which kind of goes against the philosophy of, being
your keys are coins,
the man of your own money. But it's just the most convenient solution for me. Yeah. And
right.
Yeah.
Have you ever considered cold storage after reaching a certain point?
Yeah, I think definitely you should do it. I actually have a Ledger Nano S. Never really got to use it. It was a gift of a friend of mine. But I would suggest to do that if your net worth in cryptocurrencies exceeds a certain niveau, just because Well, first of all, it's the whole idea behind it to have the money on your cold storage and nobody else can touch it except you. And second of all, it's just super secure, right? That's actually because you don't have that legacy financial system around it. Is a problem. There's hacks happening. You see MetaMask accounts being drained and stuff through cookie hijackings and stuff. It's not pretty. So I see cold storage being used if you have a lot of money in crypto, for sure.
Right. Yep. I totally get that one. What is your, I would say, outlook? You being a freelancer, you doing all those investments. What is your outlook on the global kind of freelancer scene? Will crypto be adopted in very soon, or will it actually remain a niche topic? And what are kind of the advantages you feel, just to sum them up, that freelancers basically enjoy through using crypto?
Well, with the rise of DeFi and stable coins, I do see a very valuable use case for freelancers around the world. Because I mean, it's like it's a natural consequence of like globalism. Me working for companies which are all over the world, and then the cryptocurrency is just the last missing part, which will be the payments for my services, ideally decentralized. Which is cross-border transactions, which are completely frictionless. So it's just a matter of time before it's adopted or outlawed by states. Either could happen, but I'm not sure how many freelancers nowadays use cryptocurrencies for their payments. I think it's still kind of a fringe thing, but it will change in the future. I'm pretty confident about that. Yeah.
Do you have any estimates of roadblocks in there, such as government regulation being one, or the accounting being a mess, or that kind of, what do you think kind of keeps freelancers right now from adopting crypto?
Yeah, accounting is definitely a mess. I mean, I work for a quant firm, right? And we do arbitrage, which is thousands of trades per day on multiple exchanges. Even if you were not in crypto, that would be horrible for an accountant. Plus, doing that on crypto exchanges is like our accountants, they're just short of an implosion, because it's just they're like the legacy jobs. They have no clue how to handle crypto, right? But you see solutions coming up, right? There's, I don't know if it's TaxFix. I always get like a sponsored advertisement about how to handle my crypto taxes and crypto accounting by multiple apps here in Germany. So there are solutions. I mean, if there's demand, there's going to be supply at some point. But for now, it's definitely a struggle, right? I mean, for me, it's super simple. I get USDT immediately transferred to Euro, and then just send the euros to my bank account and basically pretend that the crypto part never happened. I hope I'm not infringing myself here right now for some civil rights problems or something, or for the tax authorities. But that's how I do it, and I don't see a problem with doing it like that.
Alrighty. I guess that really covers the outlook a little bit. What are the most interesting developments you currently see in crypto?
Well, I'm not a big fan of shilling some mid-tier coins. I do like Solana though. Disclaimer: I also own Solana because of the transaction speed, right? And Sam Bankman-Fried, who everybody knows who's in the crypto sphere, founder of FTX, the second largest derivatives exchange, also founder of Alameda Research, probably the largest quant trading firm. He's probably worth 20 billion by now. So he did a very good job, and he's a huge fan of Solana. And like I like to compare him to the Elon Musk of the crypto space,
Mhm.
and whatever he touches turns to gold. So I like Solana. That's a very, very interesting value proposition. And just in general, huge fan of decentralized finance. Love the applications, right? Earning 8% on your USDT on an over collateralized loan. That's just awesome, right?
Yeah.
And the whole problems that come with it are also very interesting, right? Smart contract risk. You see all these pools being drained on Binance Smart Chain and stuff. It's a lot of action happening. Also on-chain arbitrage for millions of euros, flash loans. It's all super, super interesting. And there's nothing that can compare to it in the traditional financial markets.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally agree. Interesting times happening, and
Definitely.
glad we're part of it. So why don't you tell our listeners where to find you? Is there any email addresses or any social media presence you would like to put out there?
Yeah. I think the easiest thing would be to just look me up on LinkedIn. Leon Berghoff is my name. Just search me up and message me if you want to get in touch, have a call. I like to exchange pretty much everybody about ideas in the crypto sphere and freelancing space. I also have an email, leon.berghoff@live with a v.de, and that's pretty much how you can find me. I also have Twitter at Leon Berghoff. And if you're in Frankfurt, you'll probably see me around.
All right,
Frankfurt
beautiful.
School, where I study.
Nice, nice. So we'll put all those links obviously in the description, and yeah, that's about it. That's it for this week. Thank you so much for being our guest,
It was a
and
pleasure.
also to our listeners, thank you again for giving us your time, for paying attention, and I will see you next week.
Cool. Thank you so much again.
Bye bye.